This is the Aussie NFL Fantasy Show.
You know how sometimes the first play of the game can be a real tone setter?
Aussie.
Yeah, I basically just went with Ashton Jen Teabag.
NFL.
He's not a walking 7 for 70 as I learnt last week when he went 1 for 5.
Fantasy.
I'd probably lean towards taking Henry maybe ahead of McCaffrey just because of what I've seen.
The Aussie NFL Fantasy Show. Loading.
Australia's premier NFL fantasy football show is back on the Sunday show. For the Aussie Gridiron Network, this is the Aussie NFL Fantasy Show. They call me Matty C, and joining me for this, the all-important Starts of the Week show, the segment that he's just gone ahead and made his own again. It's Taylor Goodall. How are you, mate?
Matty C, I'm back for week 12. And my co-host looks like an elf on a shelf. Let's go.
Actually, I hadn't drawn that comparison before, but now you say it. We had an elf in our house for a few years named Ralphie, and I'm actually, a little hat on me. A red pajamas.
I almost broke there because I knew I was going to say, but then I heard you laughing already when I just said 12 instead of 12. And so you know exactly where I'm going.
Yeah. Well, when you have to mispronounce a word deliberately, I know it's going to be a...
It's literally my favourite rhymes, is when I literally just change a word to suit myself as far.
Kev said this the first time he came through. He goes, everything rhymes if you say it right. So
yeah, it was an Eminem. Yeah,
I love that. So you're taking that approach. And I've been taking losses from you in that, in this segment, the Starts of the Week all year. I think I may have won the segment maybe 3 times this season, so I'm having a bit of a tough bash. But G-World has been doing it pretty tough too, and last week they came through with the goods. How cool was it, Josh? He was pretty measured about what he did. He just came in, and it turns out he really cleaned our clocks. He beat us by 20-something points. He just roughed us up, mate.
Killed it. I'll be honest, when he took Kenny Gainwell, he wasn't even on my list. And then I know he got the Warren injury, but he was doing a fair bit even before Warren went down. He had a great game. He had the 2 touchdowns, and it was a great pick by him. And the rest of his team was just far better than ours. Like you and I just didn't really have a great week. I had my first third place of the year, and Josh just got the world back, and Jackson, self-appointed team captain, he'll be very happy.
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, I think we've got a lot of people who have got a connective tissue to this world team and care about it on weeks they're not there. We know that Kev cares very deeply about how he travels with the world team, and also how he travels with every week. For those who don't know this behind the scenes, he picks a team of people who have been discarded by us on the show, and he tries to pick a team out of the scraps. And he gets the benefit then of putting him whatever order he wants and captaining who he wants. But I mean, he is also 15 players to the negative because we've gone and taken 5 rounds of players. So he has a lot of connective tissue to it. And Manjot's the other one. Manjot's like, man, well, better not sell me before I get on the show.
He had a chance to catch. He had a chance last year, and he took it. So his hope is that he can get on and put Matty C into last, I think.
Yeah, I mean, and if you get on the basketball court for a chance to throw a half-court 3 to win the car, You want to give it your best shot, and Manjot did that last year, so good on you, brother, and we'll see him later in the year. Because I get a lot of time with Manjot at this time of year too, because he and I sit side by side and commentate the American Football ACT most Saturdays this season, and I just love getting that time with him. But I forget that no one else gets the time with him that I do, and it's going to be thrilling to get him back on the show later in the year, because he still thinks, if there's a chance, he'll take it. Like last year, is filled him with confidence that when he comes on, he can just hit that shit, brother.
Absolutely.
Talking to players who need to hit that shit, Isaac came through earlier in the week. He was here for the Friday show. Mate, welcome back for the Sunday show. Did you have fun with the tipping point and the breakouts?
I did. It was good fun to chat. People that weren't less than 50% started, so it was really good.
The fun players.
That's what we learned from this show. It's cool. We spend a lot of time in the weeds. We actually need to get sometimes out on the highway and roll with fast cars.
Talk about some players that people have heard of.
Yeah. Because Mason Taylors are all good and well.
One of the greats.
But that's not going to pay the bills. So it's nice to get that chance. And I like too, like we hear you on G'day Gridiron. This is one of the great things is for those who haven't caught the Friday show, Isaac, a very valuable part of the network. And mate, we love your contribution on G'day Gridiron. The fellas this week here talking about all the games to watch on the show yesterday for the Sunday slate of games, plus also previewing the Monday game as well. Mate, I know it's no spoilers now because the Sunday show's out, but was the game that you had the most interest in for the Sunday slate?
Do you even need to ask? The Bucks versus the Rams. Yeah. Two good offenses going at each other.
Yeah, but why did you pick that one?
The shocked meme.
When you get to podcast number 4 for the week, it's good. It's a good way to go.
Yeah, mate. And this is the thing, like, people see your contributions when you're behind a mic, but actually, for those who don't know, Isaac actually puts in a fair bit behind the scenes as well, and there's things that appear through the Gridiron Network over the course of a week that people won't know this man's responsible for. He's a real good soldier, even on the weeks where sometimes he's not on any of the shows. But, mate, it is great to put you through the ringer of 4 in the same week. But thank you for making the time, because this one's a fun show that starts the week. You've had a dig at it earlier in the year. Do you want to quickly...
No, let's not revisit that.
I respectfully decline.
Let's put those afterburners on and sprint past it.
Yeah, Isaac wasn't on earlier in the year. In fact, that is a mistake. It wasn't him. It was somebody else.
Surely you must have questions.
Please reach out to us.
When Tay and I get asked about fantasy advice, we are not backwards about coming forwards at any stage.
Get your question read live on the show.
If you've got a mailbag question, or if you're really keen to just get on the show, we'll make it work.
At Aussie NFL Fantasy on Facebook and Instagram.
Mate, what we like to do on the Sunday show too is and I think you're someone who's really good for this, is to answer a couple of questions from our mailbag. You've definitely enjoyed doing this on shows in the past, and I enjoy also having your opinion on these, because I spend a lot of time with Tay too, so when you ask a question I kind of feel like I know where Tay's going to go, so it's kind of nice that the third chair brings more often than I thought would be the case, brings just a couple of different things to think about, and then I sometimes leave the mailbag question with a couple of things kicking around my head that I wasn't expecting. So I'm glad that it's you this week who gets the chance to do that with us.
I'm looking forward to it, and that sounds like a challenge to Tay to try and not lead Matty into where he was thinking.
I think there was a disagreement. Do you remember the disagreement between me and Josh last week? Like, we didn't go at each other or anything, but there was definitely a question where he answered and I said something different. I just can't remember what it was.
There was the question for Disney Minus, who was like between Judkins and Warren, and we all pretty fast went to Judkins. But then there was the question about Tet or Diggs or Debo, and I think we all kind of landed Tet. But the third one was, would you drop love for Darnold, McCarthy, Rodgers or Purdy?
I think we agreed on that too, though. I could have sworn there was one we did.
But the Purdy bit, I think, was... And McCarthy. Purdy and McCarthy was kind of one where there was a bit of divergence.
Yeah, don't know.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So, Tempestuous, who's written into us before. So definitely get your questions in. You can get them out at Aussie NFL Fantasy on Instagram. You can come to me at Matty Podcast, or you can also go to Young Tay here at Tay41, Taylor41 on Instagram. First question comes in from at Pelican Beef, and it's a question about Wilsons.
Oh God, mum slayers.
One of them had a really big fantasy week last week, and one of them all of a sudden may have a role. So the question here, and I imagine this is just about which one you want to roster. There's no other context except for Emmanuel Wilson or Michael Wilson. Tay, which one of these do you want to own?
Well, I mean, Emmanuel Wilson, I think, is going to be pretty short term. Like, if you're a Josh Jacobs owner, I think you have to say Emmanuel Wilson, because you really need to lock at his handcuff season, getting closer to the playoff season. So I think if you're the Josh Jacobs manager, I think you need him. If this is just in a vacuum, it's a bit of a tough one. I think I would still lean Emmanuel Wilson, because I just think running back's a bit harder to fill. I think, that we're all a lot of us are probably in a situation where we're sort of can be struggling for a bit of a running back or even a flex. I do believe Michael Wilson takes a bit of a step back. We don't know Marvin Harrison's status, and I do think if Marv comes back, especially paired with Trey McBride, I think there is a chance him going back to that sort of third receiver role takes a bit of a step back because it was just so much volume last week. There was also the fact that they were just getting boat raced and, what was it, 47 completions that Beef Brisket had, set a record, it was just absurd. So I'm not sold that the Michael Wilson thing just keeps happening, but look, I understand the pickup and there is a chance that Marv misses again. So if he does, good, then that's a fine play. I just think that in the running back, space, I just think the Green Bay is going to be able to run, and I think Emmanuel Wilson, especially if you're a Josh Jacobs owner, but even if you're not, if you're just looking for, say, a flex play, I think I would be taking Emmanuel.
Yeah, I agree.
Isaac?
I agree with Tay there. I'd be going Emmanuel Wilson. Wilson in Arizona is coming up this week against a Jags defense who is surprisingly good this year. So, I think
we have our moments, Isaac. I can remember London. That we half our team seems to have stayed on the plane.
Yeah, but that's in London, right? You just go there every year and you can't seem to sort it out. But
doesn't count.
I think last week was just an anomaly for Wilson.
Yeah, fair enough. But for which Wilson?
I can't even think of his first name exactly.
So there's Michael and Emmanuel.
Michael. Yeah. There you go. Michael Wilson. He's
got the most normal name.
Yeah, I know. As Tay said though, it'll go back to Trey McBride. If Marvin Harrison's healthy, he's going to go back to wide receiver 3 essentially. So, I'll go with Emmanuel Wilson.
Yeah. It's an interesting thing because I don't think the Jags got some stout secondary, but so if there are targets going around, but I mean, I just don't expect Arizona to need to pass as much. And if I am in a position to where I can get Emmanuel Wilson and I'm not the Jacobs owner, then I might be able to just kind of drift him in front of the Jacobs owner to get something else that will improve my roster as well. And I kind of feel like he's, even if you're not using him, he's a piece you can do something with. So I feel like we're kind of all a little bit on the Emmanuel Wilson there. At Twizzle8 wants to know, would you trade Ibuka and Huge for CD Lamb? Kind of sounds like Tay, one of these consolidate your rosters because you're thinking about tomorrow, not today.
Look, I'm as big a Egbuka fan as you'll find. He's literally the wide receiver I probably had the most of this year. But I would definitely make this trade. I've already brought up that the Chargers, I'm worried about their passing game moving forward because they can't protect Herbert. They've lost their 2 best offensive linemen, and it concerns me moving forward. And just in general, because they have so many pass catches, it's 1 week it's a McConkey week, then there's Keenan Allen week, and it's if they're already struggling to pass and you're having to split it between 3 main wide receivers and a tight end that's getting involved, I just have concerns that Johnson's even going to be playable moving forward anyway. So I'm kind of looking at this more so as just mainly Egbuka against Lamb, and I'm always just going to trust the pedigree of Lamb in this situation. I still think he's a top 5 fantasy asset, and Dak, just played awesomely well last week. I know he's got a very good wide receiver too in Pickens that can take stuff off him, but I just think that helps the offense, and I just have a lot of trust in CeeDee Lamb, so I would make that trade.
Isaac, you?
Well, speaking of Tay, he actually traded me Ibuka in our redraft league. Ooh. I can't remember who I gave you for that. Was that?
It was a very specific situation where I was falling behind and Ibuka was going on bye, so I traded him to you for Jalen Waddle. Yes. Which doesn't help me this week because Waddle's there on bye, but it was very much that specific situation that I talked about on the Friday pod. Matty said I was trying to buy wins week by week, and
and you talked last week about how Waddle is a guy you want to buy because all of a sudden things are happening in that Miami offense, and there's clearly no Tyreek Hill, but all of a sudden the ball's moving again.
Yeah, for sure. And it's both of them kind of had an off week last week, Ibuka and Waddle, and Waddle had a very good game the week before. And so it's kind of been an okay trade for me so far, but I think this week I do expect a very good game for Ibuka, so I think Isaac will get the leg up on that one for sure. But I don't regret it because I was in a situation that I was trying to buy wins. So you just got to do what you do.
So was it the question who he gets
Ibuka
CD
and
Lamb?
Huge
Yep.
for CD. Yeah.
So the
Would
listener
you trade
gets CD?
Ibuka and Huge for CD? So it does make it sound like CD's coming in.
Yeah, okay. No, I wouldn't. I'm all in on Ibuka. I think he's taken over Mike Evans as that wide receiver 1 in Tampa. And then Hughes is he's decent. He gets going, but he's just a good guy to have on your bench, and you potentially play him in a situation where they're playing, say Dallas or Jets or someone they can really pick on.
I think about Huge too is like you're doing this trade if you're looking for the depth, and it kind of means that you're probably in a position where occasionally you need to play an upside shot. If you're trading for CD, you're not looking for upside shots. You're looking for stability. That's kind of the way this smells to me. Does that sort of make sense?
Yeah, and if
I was
CD
trailing in a projection by 10, fuck it, I'll throw Huge in and see if he'll just get me a long touchdown. Fuck it.
Well, that's right. And if CD keeps going out in Vegas, he's going to be sitting on the bench for the first drive anyway. So he won't be scoring you any points there.
Mate, I would take that first drive penalty to do the same, please.
I just laughed how it was like, oh, we'll show these guys. We'll put them on the bench for this drive. The drive fucking sucks. And then they're straight back in. It's like, oh, we showed those guys. Don't you do that again.
Let that be a warning to you. Yeah.
Please get him back out. Please get him back out.
Shoddy killing the discipline. Okay, so we reckon that Isaac's in on the Ibuka, and I don't think that's a wrong answer. I'm super partial to CD. I'd like to be on the CD end of this, but and again, I think it sounds like it just kind of depends on which position you're into. If you're looking to accumulate someone who can be an upside shot for you, then definitely the Ibuka huge side makes a ton of sense. At Monty's Python wants to know, Tay, how do I get a question in for the Super Coach Halfer?
Oh, fancy you ask, Matty C. What I basically do is I put my Photoshop skills to the test every single week, and I put some stupid meme or some stupid picture up in the if you haven't, join the NFL Supercoach Facebook page. If you go to that, that's just full of like-minded people that are looking for NFL Supercoach content. I'll always put up there. There's also an NFL Supercoach Fanatics page that I chuck it up in as well. So when you see that, it's basically just saying reach out to me. So even if you don't see that and you've got a question, just reach out to my messenger of Taylor Goodall or go to Matt Connor. You can just reach out to us directly and we'll get those questions. I've got another group chat I'm in as well that I ask questions in and they just sort of reach back out to me. But in general, if you just want to DM us or just write in the comments of those posts I do on those Facebook pages underneath, we'll get them as well. So there's a couple of different routes you can take.
Often the first comment on that too is from me to Tay saying, why does your super coach team suck? So that's how you know it's a legit one. But yeah, you can direct message me off them too, because I'm in all those groups as well. So, and I try to make myself present so you can find me as well. But Tay's very fast up there with them.
Always something
Why
stupid.
does your super coach team suck, Tay? I can't say that.
That's not
Team's
Well,
got a few more points than me, actually.
I was thinking that. I was like, we'll definitely do an episode at the end of week 17 where we like go through our good plays and our shit ones. So it'll be fun.
Yeah. Last week was my best week in Supercoach, so I feel pretty plucky. I feel a bit cute. So
Yeah, nice. It's going to be a good app. I say it's going to be a good app. It was a good app.
Yeah, it's a cracking app. Because, I brought the sass, mate. All of a sudden, I feel like I'm an expert at Supercoach. So I should start a podcast on it. So,
You should. Yeah, that'd be great.
look, we'll
go for half an
call
hour.
that for the moment. We may need to rename it next year. I don't know.
Yeah. The Supercoach, not a halfer.
Yeah, half a day. It's going to be like test match cricket. It's a Supercoach session or something. I don't know. Fellas, thank you so much for the contributions to the mailbag. If you want to get a question in, of course, hit me at Matty Podcast or Tay at Taylor41 on Instagram. Of course, you can throw me in at the main bag too at Aussie NFL Fantasy. It brings us up to time to get into the serious business of starts of the week.
Born in the heart of the earth, shaped by fire, wind, and time itself, this trophy is no mere prize. It is an artifact of legend, passed through the hands of kings and conquerors, scholars and sages. Its worth measured not in gold, but in the wisdom it bestows. Now it rests with us, the chosen stewards, entrusted to guard its legacy. Only he who offers the truest insight, the boldest foresight, shall lift it high and claim his place among the immortals. This is the Aussie NFL Fantasy Show. Starts of the week.
Could
not have predicted that when the world was 10 points behind Tay going to last week, that they would bridge the gap by 2, taking out the win. Josh, mate, he hit it straight out of the park. Picked a lovely team, goes and throws up 72 points, and, mate, neither of us could chase him down, Tay. Amazing.
Not at all. Like, yeah, we touched on it. He just had a great week. Obviously, the Gamewell pick was awesome, and a lot of his other players just were complimentary in that team. And then, obviously, you and I kind of sucking definitely helped. So, mate, he's got the world to where they need to be after last week.
Yeah. No, he did a good job. I'm just going to pop the scores up on the screen here for the lads to be able to see as well. But, yeah, he picked a lovely team, got a couple of good points out of his... Here we go. Let me show you that one. Here we go. Got a couple of points out of Kenneth Gainwell. Just a lazy 29. But then also picked it well at his captain. Troy Franklin had a nice involved game. Had the touchdown for the Broncos. And then, so didn't get a heap out of the Johnson brothers or Caleb, but it didn't matter because he'd sort of done his killing before breakfast there with his flex and his running back. Tay, mate, I tossed and turned about whether I took Kareem Hunt. It turns out it's probably my best fucking pick. Sam Darnold, bag of arseholes. Jerry Jeudy, bag of arseholes. Kate Otten, what the fuck, mate. Jawan Jennings at least gave me some double point action to get me to 50, but it was not a good week for me. Your week, though, it seemed like everybody was destined to score 8. Going into Monday, McCarthy, 8. Harvey, 8. DiMiccardo, 8. Zach Ertz, 8.2, you overachiever. A lot of pressure on Trey Tucker.
Yeah, it was. He almost got me there to beat you too. He got a late touchdown, and I liked him against that Dallas defense, but yeah, it just wasn't enough. Obviously, losing DiMiccardo, it wasn't exactly a pick I was like super stoked about. I just thought he would get there with a bit of volume. I just thought he was in a better situation than Bam Knight based off the previous 2 weeks, and I just thought against that matchup against the Niners, I thought he'd be able to get something done. And honestly, he probably, I still don't think he was in for like a massive game, but he did get off to an okay start before he got injured. So, I mean, that's just part of the game. I've had a couple of weeks where I've had my captain go down, unfortunately, but it is what it is. And look, in the end, I've also had some luck to be at the top as well. So I can't just sit here and just complain. So hopefully this week, at least I can have 5 guys that finish the game. That would be amazing.
That would be amazing. Mate, the overall leaderboard then puts you on top with 26 points. So the gap between us all has shrunk from 5 as the step from you to me, and then 5 from the step down to where World was there. 25, 20, and 15 going to last week. Now the steps are 4. So, Tay, you're on 26 and have 712 points of scoring. It's 100 clear of me in second at 22 with 602. And then the World, very close to me, only about 20 points behind me with 579, but 18 competition points. And it puts, firstly, I just want to ask you too, Tay, that little graphic I've got of you pretending to be John Madden, pretty much from Madden football, bursting through an invisible wall because I took it away for the benefit of our leaderboard. Do you like that? I just think there's a lot of joy on your face, and you look like you got the poise holding the football. I think it's a good picture.
Oh, absolutely. Kind of, it's like a bit of poise. It kind of looks like I'm doing a shit. It definitely, symbolizes who I am.
You look a bit surprised as well about something. I'm not sure what, but yeah, the tools that we've been using to create a couple of these images for us have been, sometimes they hit and sometimes they really miss, don't they, mate?
I'm surprised. Matty C just did his math correctly, and I'm surprised. That's what my face is.
Probably, yeah. My math has actually been far better this year, too. You've only had to twice, I think.
I definitely, when I lost you by such a small margin, I definitely had to recheck just to make sure. When there's a big gap, I just kind of leave it. But I'm like, if someone's losing by 3 to another person, I'm like, I better give this a recheck. And mate, it was spot on this week.
Calculator out. Isaac, there is a beauty in that Josh has done the world great because, as we discussed on the Friday show, you've had a bit of time to plan your next move. And because you've had a bit of a run through this earlier in the season that was never broadcast, no one knows how you went. It means that you've got this second shot at and you're in mid-season form and you get to pick the draft order. The benefit of that, of course, being that you can put people where you want. Round 1, 2, 3, and 4 are just your classic snakes. So if you put first in the first round, goes last in the second round, et cetera, et cetera. But the fourth round is then repeated in the fifth round. It means that if you pick first, you get last choice at captain. Captain's double points. So there is a lot to think about. But you've had some time. What do you want to do with it, mate? And give us why.
Well, there's a certain player I am targeting, so I want to go first.
Nice.
And get that out of the way. I want to put Taylor in the meat of the sandwich.
It's been a while since I've been mystery meat.
Double adapter, Tay. Double adapter.
And then that leaves you, Matty, to be the arsehole end.
You know, if I could pick where I put myself this week too, I would have put myself there.
Last?
I put myself there 2 weeks in a row. I was there the last 2 weeks. All this. And I think I was first before that. Like I said, it's been a while since I've been in the middle. So, yeah, looking forward to it.
I'm really targeting one player, so I really want to get that person. So
that's exactly how you should play it. I've always said the same thing. If I'm like looking at the top and I'm not sure about one guy, I generally put myself second or third. Or if there's one guy I just really want to leave the draft with, it's just go first and work it out later.
Yeah.
You see, I used to think a lot more like that, but now the captain round comes in. I'm like, I'd rather first shot at the captain.
It does. That's what I mean. You have to have a lot of conviction in the guy you're going for first round, though.
Yep.
And the problem with my captain strategy so far has been iffy guys in a way because I want their upside. So if I miss their upside, then I just get an average score. But man, when it came off, like we weren't expecting a good day out of Diggs, for instance, and he goes and has this massive day in his like revenge game against the Bills. That won me a whole week just by having Diggs in the right spot. Last week, I joked about taking Michael Wilson and instead took Juwan Jennings. Juwan Jennings throws up 20 total points. It's a fine day for a captain, but I mean, Wilson would have scored 70 points. So, there's a lot of power in it, and I like the idea of getting an early swing at the captain. But then tell you, in the middle, you get a real consistency about how often you're to pick. So each spot has its benefit, and I like that that's the case this year because there was not as much benefit being at the back end. If you were in a position when there was a guy who had a certain like allure to them over everybody else, you'd want to pick one, and then like the guy in last, there's sort of no great benefit for them unless there's a week where it's very even across the board. Well, this year doesn't matter what happens. There's a benefit to being in every spot.
100%. Yeah, that's why I like it.
That has added such a wrinkle. With Isaac having picked the order, mate, you got you in first, guy you want. Tay in second, double adapter, Matty at the arsehole end. Loving that. Where do you want to go with your first pick? Tell us who, tell us why. I can't wait.
I want Sam Darnold playing at Tennessee. I think they are just going to come out firing, and Tennessee's defense is not very good. So that's an understatement.
I want some stats on this. I don't believe you.
I know. Yeah, I need a PowerPoint presentation, Isaac. I'm not sold.
And he will target the shit out of JSN. Rashid Shaheed will get some looks this week because they'll probably be up by quite a margin. So, I really wanted to see Darnold, and I'm going for that one.
Rashid Shaheed 80-yard touchdown guarantee.
Sam Darnold, 30% started. A solid pick in this segment most weeks. Last week I took him. He scored me 8. The week before that, I think in that obliteration to the Cardinals too, he didn't score a ton of points in that. But the problem is like when he's not in a blowout situation, he's a very good quarterback for fantasy. As if you don't have somebody else and you need to fill in a guy or you want an upside shot, he's a good pick, and I like that you've gone straight to him. And that is a position of, possibly quite a high scoring position. Just wrapped up. You got your guy you wanted. I love it.
Yep. Go for it.
Tell you what are you going to do?
I think I'm going to go to running back. I think I'm going to take a leaf out of Joshy's book from last week, and I think it's one that I don't know if I need to guarantee whether the starter doesn't play. So I'm going to go Kenneth Gainwell against the Bears at 35%. Bears are sort of getting torched by the running back position. And I just think even if Warren comes in, I think he's going to be hampered. And like I said, he seemed to be getting work even when Warren was not, like even before he got injured. So I just think even if this was like a 50-50 split or maybe even a 60-40 given Warren's not 100%, I just think there's enough there against the Bears. I just think that's where you can beat them. So, yeah, I really like what Kenneth Gainwell's doing. He's getting involved in the passing game too. So if they're down, he's kind of game script proof. So, yeah, I just thought I'd take him. He was the top of my list for the running backs this week. So, yeah, I'm going to take him.
Yeah, love that. Mate, he only logged up a casual 29.5 last week. You know, he's
terrible.
I hear he's in. You know, he's okay. Mate, that Chicago Bears defense also not terrifying. I don't think the Bears are nearly as good as their record. Oh my god.
No, God no.
Go on, line it people up against Bears. The options for me now, seeing a quarterback and a running back go. Mate, I reckon there's about 50 wide receivers this week, so I'm going to pass on that and go and take a. I'm going to go and take a tight end because I'm a psycho. It is a psycho move to take a tight end in your first pick. But I just kind of feel like Hunter Henry is about as safe as it gets for guys who are under 50%. Zach Ertz is the standard play, but he's on bye. And it's fucking rude because it means I've got to pick somebody different at tight end. Kate Otten pissed me off last week. Hunter Henry it is. I think he's the Zach Ertz when Zach Ertz is away.
That's a great pick. He was the top of my list. It's just the Bengals are so. I know they're bad in defense in general, but they seem to be like extra bad against the tight end position. Like they seem to just get torched there every single week. And yeah, like we've brought up, we love Drake May this week. I just think the Pats are going to be able to move the ball. So yeah, he would have been my pick if it got around. So yeah, I like it.
I feel like that's the easiest pick of the week. Isaac, I know that you had eyes on Sam Darnold, but I think this was the second easiest.
Do you? Yeah, okay.
Would you have taken Henry if you just had your choice of tight ends?
He wasn't even on my list, to be honest.
There you go.
I thought he would have been over 50%. The way he's been playing.
44.
44.
Yeah.
So,
This
to be honest.
Check, baby.
Well, that's right. And that's why you ask. But yeah, didn't even think of Hunter Henry in that slot. So I like the pick, though.
Thank you.
Like we said with Drake May on the Friday show, just pick on that Cincy defense.
Yeah. I'm going to go back and get my quarterback, and I'm going to take. I'm inspired by Isaac from the tipping point segment, and I'm going to go and take Bryce Young on the road at San Francisco.
He was on my list.
I knew
he was second on my list. I don't know how that worked out, and I know I've gone under on the tipping point, but I brought up the whole rainbow strip thing. I just think they're actually in a situation where this could be a shootout. So, and yeah, I just think if the turnaround's coming after last week with the 400 plus yards, then. Yeah, I didn't mind him. It was one of those ones, even though he's second on my list, if I'd stared at him, could I have pivoted maybe? But I don't know. I just like his matchup this week.
Yeah. And like Isaac said, 18 points was our line in tipping point. You would have had him up to about 20, I think you said on the show. And it's 20's 300 yards and 2 touchdowns, 200 yards and 3 touchdowns. All of those things I think are possible against San Francisco, and I'd take 20 from my starter in a segment like this anytime. Because, mate, I had Darnold last week score me 8. So, 20. Give me 20. Give me 18. I'll take it. This puts Taylor back on the clock. Now you've got Kenny Gainwell. What do you do next?
Well, this is like the rare time where I actually do have the gameplay that we used to be able to do where you guys have taken your quarterbacks, so I don't have to take it here. So at least there's sort of at least some kind of little bit of gameplay, so I can wait to the 4th round before the last round for that one. It's just having a look at sort of some of the positions. There's probably a guy I'm going to ask about just to sort of get it out of the way just in case he gets ruled out. Juwan Jennings is at 49%, and he's gone from 44 to 49. I don't know. I just thought I'd throw out the question on whether we think he's still part of this segment.
Isaac?
I think he was there last week, so I think you can have him in this week.
He was 43 or thereabouts last week.
Yeah.
In fact, got the number in front of me here, 46. So he went down and has gone up. I mean, the thing I like about this is that does this make him less iffy? No. So,
Well, he didn't. Yeah, it's not like he dominated last week, right?
Yeah.
He was like 8 points or something.
I think this is the spirit of the segment. It's not like he was 72%, went on a bye, came back with, got injured in the game before the bye, comes back with like a quad injury, and now it's iffy, but he was 70% started last time. This is a guy who is as healthy as he's going to get, and he will just be perpetually iffy. I think this is the sort of player this segment is made for.
He just he just never has been able to shake off that like calf injury all year too. It's like I've just like he's the kind of guy I definitely wasn't going to put as captain again, like because I'm having like Vietnam flashbacks from last week already, where I bloody lose my captain in the first quarter, and I'm like, bloody hell, I know injuries can come from anywhere, but I'm like, guy's been iffy with injuries, and just the Niners in general, because CMC keeps just like siphoning everyone else's health, like to try and fuel him. So I'm like, I really probably shouldn't take a Niner as my captain. So I'll I'll just plug him into the wide receiver position.
I said this in week 10 about CMC kind of being like, I don't know, having Rich's cauldron of like, siphoning people's health, and everyone else is falling down around him. And the one person we were actually questionable about going into the year, will he hold up, is actually the solidest thing in the entire team. So Jennings, 49%, lock him in. He will accompany Kenneth Gainwell on your magical journey, Tay.
Yeah, let's go.
Look at Isaac's concentration face. He's got Sam Darnold for about 30 points against Tennessee, 30% started. And you've got your pick of every other position now, and now you get to make 2 in a row to finish the second and start the third round.
Okay, so I've got a question on this next one. So Alvin Kamara yesterday when I checked was 24. He's now up to 41. Coming off the bye, where no? Okay, perfect.
I just don't even think he comes close. I reckon you're going to see him 80-something by the time
It's a good question though. Like he's been so bad. it's just still the name value. I think he's going to put him over 50, but it's like it's worth an ask. Man, he's been so shit.
I've also got another one, so I may as well get it out of the way first. Michael Pittman at 41% at the moment as well.
Now, early in the year, he'd been iffy, but from about week 4 onwards, he had been a solidly 70+% starter.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I was even starting him in our 6-team league.
But the other two on that team have always fitted. Like Downs and Pierce have always fitted, but Pittman was kind of the one who ascended from the mirth.
Yep. Okay.
Yeah.
No worries. Well, I will go. I'm going to go. This one, my wide receiver, I'm going to go Darnell Mooney.
Yeah, okay.
Because there's a high chance that Drake London's going to be out and he will become the wide receiver 1.
I picked him up in Astro this week just because he was on waivers. It is like iffy. I'm not starting him or anything this week. We'll see. But I may have to. But it's one that I want to see it because he had good games with Kirk last year. Mm-hmm. But then you saw in the 1-game sample size this year when London was actually out and Mooney was in and Kirk was so bad at home and Mooney got 1 catch and it made me worried. But it's like, if you just forget that 1 game and you just look at it like, just for what it is, I think it's not a bad play. I think he should get volume, but you'll just need to see more out of Kirk than you saw in that first game.
Yeah. And when he came in last week, Kirk didn't play overly well.
Yeah.
So
no, but I mean, he's going to have the benefit of the whole week of reps, and they're playing in a controlled conditions of being back indoors as well because they'll be in the dome in New Orleans. But wide receiver 97 on the year, he's just a bad question marks, isn't he? I've started him twice in the segment this year, and both times I have burnt my fucking fingers. So I'm really hopeful that he shows up for you because no one will be happier than me.
Yeah, okay. I thought you were going a different route then.
No, he's 14% started, and I think that number will increase because Drake London's a real concern, and Kirk Cousins has shown he's not scared of throwing the ball to Darnell Mooney over time. But I mean, it's just I don't know how people would have an amazing amount of confidence in him. But gee, I would just love him to show it up because he's a good wide receiver. Tay and I have been banging this guy for 3 seasons. He's a great wide receiver who's just played with shitty quarterbacks.
Yep.
I'm not certain he's been healthy all year too. He came in with the injury cloud. He had an injury earlier in the year. He's always felt like he's just been coming back from an injury all year. It's just been a bit of a frustrating year.
All right, round 3 starts with Isaac as well. He's got Darnold Mooney. Darnold Mooney. That sounds like Darnold Mooney.
Darnell Mooney, it does. I'm going to go with the tight end here because with 4 teams on bye, I need to get the one position out of the way. And I'm going to go TJ Hawkinson against Green Bay.
What a fucking disappointment. What a disappointment that wank has been this year. My God.
Yeah, I think KOC is going to cook up something here that they're going to get rushed a lot with that great Green Bay rush defense, and it'll just be dink and dunks over the line to TJ Hawkinson.
I hope so, because, I mean, the guy has been a fucking festering bag of arseholes for fantasy.
Oh, so bad.
Oh, my God. And he had a couple of catches last week, which is nice. But doesn't that tell you a lot that here we are in week 12 of the season where Hawk's not hurt, and here he is eligible for starts of the week. It paints this picture.
It was like tight end 4 off the board. I don't think it gets talked about enough how fucking devastatingly shit he's been.
Yeah, he's been a massive disappointment this year. So, again, mate, if there's a week you could turn up, Isaac, and bring the world roaring back like last night's pizza, that would be great to see Hawk do that.
I'd love him to, please.
All right, so 3rd round, you've got Gainwell and Jennings. Not nearly as fun to say as Darnold Mooney, but, we make do.
Yeah, I aim to disappoint Matty C, and that's what I'm doing well. Look, this will be tight end for me as well. I know you guys have picked yours already, but it just works out because I will need to pick my quarterback in round. Technically it doesn't matter. I could just pick my quarterback here. You guys have, but I mean, I'll just go to tight end anyway. I'm going to go Juwan Johnson against the Falcons at 21%. I've talked about that I actually don't mind Tyler Shuck. Oh, sorry, I whispered it. And I like too loud. No, it's not allowed to be loud enough because you can't use this against me later. It's a whisper, not a fucking say.
It's not sexy to like Tyler Shuck.
Exactly.
He's not bringing sexy back.
I want to whisper because I want to claim this when he's good, and if he's shit, I want to act like I never said this. So,
I didn't hear a thing, mate. What did you say?
No one heard a thing. Look, I just think he's actually looking better than I think a lot of people expected. And just in general, I think it's all getting funneled without Shaheed there to Olave and him. He's playing all the snaps. He's super involved in the passing game. He has been all year. The only time he sort of dropped off was when he was under the injury cloud. So, I just really like him. He's just, I don't think he ever blows the barn doors off in this offense, but he's just the kind of tight end that I think he's just very safe, and I don't think you're going to get a super low score out of him. So I just thought he would fit for me this week.
Wow.
Yeah.
And 21%, coming off the bye, you expect that number to increase. But, I mean, he has been eligible for this every week since about week 6, because there were a couple of weeks there where he did blow up early in the season and people threw him in, but very quickly people abandoned him. So he's been largely available. People have just straight dropped him in a lot of places.
And before the bye, he had 4 targets for 4 receptions and 92 yards, 19.2 fantasy points. Right.
Yeah, he can get big plays. That's what I like. It's not just like dink and dunks. It's not just red zone targets. It's like he can actually do a bit with it. And yeah, I just think if Tyler Shuck can, find some space for him, he can do a lot with it. So yeah, I just think he's a safe tight end, but with a little bit of upside. And that, honestly, you can't say that about a lot of tight ends. Honestly, it's just a bucket of shit.
Correct. Oh my God.
Yep.
Gosh, I'm in a position where now I've got my quarterback and my tight end. So I've got a wide receiver, a running back, and then, of course, we've got the captaincy round to go. I am going to go and take a wide receiver now. And I was really just encouraged to see Jacoby Myers involved. And he's now starting to see, again, that resurgence and uptick of starting, and he's getting some targets and he's finding space. And it's not often, I think, that people are excited to start a Jags wide receiver in starts of the week. Tay, I know you started Parker Washington back in week 10 as your captain, and he wasn't disappointing at all. He had a nice week, not an amazing week, but a nice week. And I'm just looking to get something like that out of Jakobi Meyers as kind of just a nice settler in my wide receiver because I want to have a bit of a swing with my captain. So I'm going to go and take Jakobi Meyers as my wide receiver. He's currently starting 37% of leagues.
Yep, I like it. He was on my list of about 12 guys, so I don't know if that says a lot, but it was definitely someone I was looking at.
Got 700 wide receivers on this list just to make sure. But at Arizona too, not a scary defense, and I think there's going to be points because I don't think the Jags can stop a heap. So we'll see. And then on the way back, I'm going to take my running back. And Tay, I wonder what you'll make of this one because I had it whittled down to 2 guys. I'm not going to mention the other guy just yet, but what gave me the edge on the guy I took was just because, again, this is, I think, going to be a game where there's some trailing, and this is definitely the pass catching back. And I'm going
Can I guess?
Yeah.
Can I guess? Tajay Spears?
Yeah, it is.
He's on my list.
I mean, the way that you started it made me think it might have been a Titan, but just, being the pass catching back, trailing. I know they're going to trail against the fucking Seahawks, but... Yeah. I mean, he seems to be like eking out more over Pollard every week, and I still just think that Pollard may not be on this team next year, and they're probably just seeing what they got in Spears. So he is, again, he's not, because this team's offense is so bad, he doesn't have huge upside, but he's a good floor play. He's just involved enough.
I think so, and that he's been getting more of the rushing work as it is, but it is the passing role that's always been his. And Pollard, he's probably back at the Cowboys next year for a veteran minimum, I'm taking him, which makes my team Young, Spears, Myers, and Henry. Before we throw it back to Tay, you have to take a quarterback, mate. You've got Gainwell, Jennings, Johnson. Game can't go on unless you take a quarterback.
Well, I'll take the guy that I knew Matty wouldn't take. I'll take Brock Purdy. I just, again, like I've talked about with the Rainbow Strip, it's like it goes both ways. It's like I think their defense sucks, so I think their offense is actually going to be quite good. And obviously I've got Jennings for the stack. So 37%. I'll take Purdy at home against the Panthers.
He's not rallying all that quickly either. That he was started in about 30% last week, and here he is at 37 this week. So chances he blows over 50, not super high. Even though he had an okay fantasy week last week, 19 points is okay.
Yeah, and look, it's not like me looking at Purdy going, man, he's so dominant. Like, it's just this feeling I've got, and I like to chase these feelings I get, especially late in years, where I'm just like, if this defense is really going to be this shit, and Bryce can move the ball on the other side, I just think that Purdy's going to have to do a lot. I know there's always the chance that CMC just rushes them all in, and that's just the risk you take. But I just think the offense is going to be in the red zone a lot, and so it's like, look, if CMC takes a couple and Brock Purdy gets a couple for himself, throws one to Kittle and hopefully one to Jennings, it's still not a bad day if he goes 250 and 2, you know what I mean? So I just think there is a bit of a baseline for Purdy this week.
He'll run a little bit probably too, so he'll give you some yards there.
And he's got some reps under his belt.
Oh, gosh, Isaac's back on the clock for the last pick of the 4th round. This is one where you've got a running back or a flex. It doesn't matter which one you take, but whoever you leave will be your captain for the 5th round, and you'll pick last in the 5th round. So a bit of a decision point here, mate.
Yeah, so I'm going to go my running back. I'll leave my flex for that last round captain. Tossing up. I've got quite a list of running backs, but I don't really want to pair a couple up. So I'm going to go with Tyler Algier at Atlanta. I know they've got Bijan there, but he's still getting a lot of the snaps down there in Atlanta. So I think he'll have a good game.
Yeah. He's sort of been funny, hasn't he? That I always thought like he's got some sort of role in that offense. And some weeks it's bigger and some weeks it's smaller. But he gets on the field with some regularity. But then he just has those games where he can throw you a few touchdowns into his score. But it's just also always the threat of if anything ever happens to Bijan. They don't have a third back. They just don't.
And he's good enough to step in for Bijan.
He has.
He's very good.
Yeah.
He's awesome. He's like... I think Bijan's been a fine pick, But like where they got him in that first round, it's like because you had Algier, it's like was it really needed? Like Algier had like literally the most rookie rushing yards of all time. Like he's a very, very good back. He just doesn't get enough rep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a great pick. 20% started, and the question here is because you've got Algier and Mooney in the same offense, so they can't both score on the same drive. This is sort of one of the down. It's not like a stack,
that's right.
But this is you saying this is going to be a high scoring game.
Yeah, I do think that. The New Orleans Saints not overly good in defense. Tyler Shook, we've seen, can sling it against Carolina, so it could be a high scoring game down there in the dome too, as you mentioned, in the dome.
In the dome. Wow. So your team now looks like Donald, Algier, Mooney, and Hawkinson. We're about to start a captaincy round now. We're double points for all players. My team at the moment is Bryce Young, Tajay Spears, Jacoby Myers, and Hunter Henry. I'm going to also create a stack by taking Xavier Legette as my captain. It's an upside shot because he does have a low baseline, but when he puts up a score, he can put up a score. And I got so mad at myself for not sticking my neck out on Michael Wilson last week. I'm not going to die wondering this time.
Yeah, love it.
It's balls out, and we'll find out at the end of the week if they were Randy Marsh balls or if they're tiny, shriveled little old man grapes. We'll find out. So there you go. Brings Taylor on.
I've got two guys I've narrowed this down to, and when Isaac was picking, I'm like, I hope he doesn't pick one of these because then I'm like, if Matty picks the other one, then I'm like going to the drawing board. But now neither of you have picked them, and I'm like, I don't know which fucking direction to go. It's like one has been a super surprising player, and he's actually been way more consistent than anyone gives him credit for. And the other's kind of just got this role, especially because the starter went down and he's just been kind of doing pretty well with it. So it's like one's a super floor play and one's kind of like a surprisingly good floor play with upside. So I'm like, when you say it like that, it sounds like I should probably go that direction. You know what? I'm going to fucking do it because I've talked it enough. I'm taking Alec Pierce against the Chiefs because and the main reason as well in that game script is I know going against Jonathan Taylor's stupid, and I know I'm probably going to be seen as the Jonathan Taylor non-truther or something because he's often been a guy I just have not got, and obviously even like Supercoach I didn't get him, and it's like he's just someone I missed this year for sure. I didn't expect this Colts offense to be this good, but I think against the Chiefs, they are so good against running backs and just stopping the rushing game that you kind of have to throw on them. And I think Alec Pierce is going to be needed. This reminds me of like when they played the Steelers when it was Jonathan Taylor's worst game and they actually had to throw a lot and they had to go to Jones. And I just think Alec Pierce, he's been super consistent this year with the chance that he's also their massive deep threat as well. Yeah. So I'm like, you know what? I'm going to take a shot on this. I'm like, the way he's going this year, even in his bad games, he might still get me like 6 to 8 points, but if he gets that massive touchdown in what I think could be a higher scoring game, I just like him. I just think he deserved credit in this one. So I had him actually at the top of my wide receiver list. There was someone else that probably gave me a bit more of a baseline, but I don't know. I like Alec Pierce at the moment. He's playing really well.
Go for the guy who could score you 17 and double it up, Tay. That's the way. Get the balls out, mate.
100%. I can't just keep going safe captains. I can't keep going safe captains and then all of a sudden they get injured anyway. It's like, well, fuck, I may as well just go on for upside.
Have a crack, mate. You lead by 4 from second place and 4 further from third place. Have a crack, mate. Stop pussyfooting around.
Let's go.
Yeah, man. Just fucking man up, mate. Teaspoon of cement, you soft prick.
I've fucking done it.
I like this new version of Taylor. He's bullied himself. We didn't even need us to bully him, Isaac, but we did anyway. Like, you know.
We mind bullied him.
Yeah.
Are you mind bullying me right
now?
now?
We know our role. It would have been upsetting if we didn't. So Tay's team now includes Alec Pierce as his captain at Kansas City. He's the only player in his team on a road game this week, 25% started. Our final pick, I don't say Mr. Irrelevant here because the guy's worth double points. But to join Donald, Algier, Mooney, and Hawkinson, who's bringing you home the bacon, Isaac? Go on!
I've got another question after you mentioned someone there, Matty.
Let's go.
Brian Thomas has practiced
He's
3 times.
Started in 50% of leagues, is he, Tay? He's been so iffy, and when he's played, he hasn't been great.
My God, he's got fucking dicks for hands. Like, he just cannot catch anything.
He's got Quinn Johnson hands.
Oh, my God.
I don't feel bad about allowing this, but I'll take your ruling, Tay.
I'm going to allow it. I know it's a name that I think people will probably try and jam in their lineup, but it's so iffy because he's not even guaranteed to be playing this week, is he?
He's been training.
Not, but he's practiced 3 times in limited showing, is what I'm reading now on Sleeper.
But that's what I mean. I'm like, because there's the iffiness of even that, like, you're taking the risk that you just don't even have the guy play, and you got your captain getting 0. So it's like, on that side of it, it's like almost worth the risk. And the fact he's been so shit when he's been playing anyway, it's like, it's kind of hard to rule him out. I'm kind of almost intrigued to see what happens. So I think I'm just going to allow it.
One game of more than 12 PPR points. Like, it is big.
But they are playing the Cardinals.
And multiple games of 12 drops.
They're playing the Cardinals.
Yes.
That's what made me look at it.
For sure.
Now, I'm not locking him in yet because there's another player there which I can, because I'm last to do. So I'm looking at also
mention every player
DJ
you want
Moore.
now.
Yeah, exactly.
So DJ Moore is the other captain
He's
I'm
been so
looking at.
fucking disappointing. Speaking of disappointing wankers.
Again, yes. Yes, he has. But so they're playing
How the
Pittsburgh.
mighty have fallen. 41% started. Oh, my God.
It's a decent defense.
If you start him, you got more balls than me. His high watermark has been 7 targets in a game. It is in rough.
Yeah.
7 targets.
Did throw a passing touchdown, though.
He's had 5 catches
he did.
once. 5 catches once.
Look, I'm going to go with Ben Johnson's going to cook. Give me DJ Moore.
Right.
Wow.
Because he's healthy.
So I thought I had my balls out for Leggett because he's 4% started. Tay's like, I'm going to get my balls out for a guy who's got some upside. And now you're just like, I'm going to go with the person who nobody has any fucking faith in. The only reason people are putting him in their lineup is because of his name, DJ Moore. I actually kind of feel like that's the biggest chin out move from the captaincy round. I really do.
The smallest balls are out.
Fuck hell.
My baseline play was just Kareem Hunt again because, like, Pacheco, they're not sure if he's playing again. I'm like, he's probably just going to get a fucking touchdown in this game. Like, I was like, I kind of didn't mind it, but I was like, Alec Pierce is just sexier.
Yeah, so much more fun. Wow, so 41% DJ Moore, 45% Hawkinson against Green Bay. Darnell Mooney, 14% at New Orleans in the same game. Algier at New Orleans, 20% started. And Darnold, 20% started. 30% started against Tennessee. Second team. Isaac, you feel comfortable with that? I kind of go how you're hoping?
There's a lot of upside there, so I'm interested to see how it's going to go.
There is. Tay, you've got Gainwell at Chicago, Jennings versus Carolina, Purdy at Carolina, Juwan Johnson versus Atlanta, and then Alec Pierce is your captain. I bet you didn't think your lineup was going to look like that when you woke up this morning.
Well, to be fair, I put this together in about 2 minutes after my basketball game tonight. So, yeah, I don't know what fucking direction I was going this morning. But, look, in the end, like, in terms of the guy, I got a lot of the guys that were sort of towards the top of my list. So I was kind of happy with how it went. But, again, like, you can be happy at the end of the day and you go out there and they fucking suck ass. It just happens a lot in this comp. We're going guys that are under 50%. So it's not like any of them are locks. So, yeah, it could go either way. But, I'm happy with the team I put together.
That's what makes this segment so fun. Is you can leave thinking, oh yeah, I've nailed this, and they just all put up eggs, and you can leave going, fuck, I'm iffy, and then go and throw up 72 like Josh's team last week. For that week, you broke the ton. So yeah, it's the beauty of the segment is there's just so many moving parts and so many things that can either bite you on the ass or push you along. You also took that stack of Purdy and Jennings, which I like. I targeted the same game with Bryce Young and my captain, Xavier Leggett. And then
double stacks. We'll stack the rainbow strip.
Stacked the rainbow strip. Oh my God, I love that. Tajay Spears against the Seahawks at home, and then Jacoby Myers over on the other side of the country against Arizona. And Hunter Henry at Cincinnati. I've got a team of everybody is on the road except for Tajay Spears. I've kind of gone the other way around, Tay. You've just got Alec Pierce on the road. I've got Tajay Spears as the only home player. That's our starts of the week. Currently, once again, the leaderboard, Taylor 26 points and about 100 more points in scoring than everybody else. I'm in second with 22. World in 18 points. But Isaac, what do you think it would take to get to 21? I reckon this team could probably do it. It could probably do it.
There's potential, but there's also potential to score fucking 0.
As we've seen.
Given this is your second run on this segment this year, and we don't actually talk about the first one. The first one, we burnt the tape. It doesn't actually exist. You can't find it anywhere. But do you feel better having had a second go sort of about a month apart? Just sort of think the familiarity and the recency helps?
Not really.
Okay, so there you go. That tells you everything.
Shots at a dartboard. I mean, if it comes off, good on me. But if it doesn't, then fuck me.
Well, this just goes to reaffirm everything that Tay says about when you're sitting in the car and listening to this, go, fuck, these guys can't pick a team for dick. Mate, there is the stone-clad guarantee that this is far fucking harder than you think. There you go. The guy has done it a month ago, comes back and goes, this is still fucking blind panic.
That's the only thing that's guaranteed in this, is that you're just going to hate yourself during the games. Because you've just got these wankers on your team.
100%. Places you won't find wankers. G'day Gridiron. This is where you will generally find Isaac.
Debatable.
Yeah, I don't know. Like Brad, definitely he doesn't count. But there's a 49ers fan in that show as well. I don't know why there's so many of them around. I like Nick, but I don't like the 49ers bit. And Ian, who doesn't like talking about he says he doesn't like talking about the Vikings, but then he spent 20 minutes talking about the Vikings for last week's game. So I don't know, but a compelling show. Isaac, you bring so much to it. You were going to say about Ian?
Yeah, you just wind him up and you just watch him go. He's like the little Energizer bunny. You put the battery in and he just off he goes talking about his Vikings.
Gentle nudge. And he just down a hill. Yeah. And he says he doesn't like talking about him, but I love that. He the show this week, of course, you do the reaction show and then lots of involvement from listeners on that, but then the Sunday show is usually the most compelling shows, games from the Sunday slate, plus the Monday Night Football preview as well. Thank you so much. At the end of a marathon week, 4 shows, you'll need a nap, mate.
I'm about to, as soon as I hit leave on this one, I'll be asleep.
Yep.
Same, mate. Same. And Tay and I, we only do 3. We're such soft cocks.
Mate, my cock's can be anything but soft when fucking Alec Pierce is just fucking streaming downfield for his third massive touchdown.
Sign me up for some of that. Tay, thank you again for everything, for the Supercoach half of this week, and of course our Friday and Sunday shows here, and everything you bring to the network as always. Good luck this week for everything but starts of the week, mate.
Thanks, Elf on a Shelf. Cheers, mate.
You're welcome. We'll catch you all next week. Thank you again to Isaac, and we're looking forward to a big week 12. This is the trade deadline week in a lot of leagues, so good luck in any trades that you need to make. And for those of you who are trying to fight your way into playoff spots, all the very best. We'll catch you all next week for the wash-up of it. Hooroo, everyone.
Who bloody roo? Thank you. That rhymes.
The Aussie NFL Fantasy Show. Thanks to the Aussie Gridiron Network, Australia's home for NFL and Australian gridiron content. Discover everything the network has to offer, including G'day Gridiron, Pastry Press, NFL, and Aussie Gridiron Today. Buy merch and win free stuff. Visit the mothership at linktree/Aussie Gridiron Network. Hooroo.